Pull up a seat, it's story time, guys. A few weeks back, Honda sent me an invite to come drive the new 2023 Pioneer 1006 Deluxe Crew side-by-side they just released, and of course, my response was,
"Hell yeah! Ha!"
So I started packing my bags, and after hopping on 3 different planes from Tennessee to Chicago, then to Denver, and finally Great Falls, Montana, where we were picked up by some of the crew from Honda and shuttled to the awesome place we were staying the next couple of nights, the historic Hotel Arvon that was built back in 1890. After getting checked into our rooms, it was time for a little meet and greet outside the bar next door where Honda had a Pioneer crew for us to ooh and ah over. Now thankfully, I've already had the pleasure of getting my hands on one for a review video, and if you haven't seen it yet, check it out by clicking up here after this video. But most haven't had the opportunity yet, so it gave them a chance to take a peek at it and familiarize themselves with it before our ride the following day. Then we headed down to the basement of the hotel where they used to store horses back in the day for people that were staying overnight, and that's where Honda held their presentation to highlight all of the features, changes, and what their thought process was going in to develop the new crew cab Honda Pioneer. After that, it was dinner and time to call it a night in preparation for the big day. That morning, we all loaded up and were shuttled about an hour outside of Great Falls to the small town of Cascade, and after hopping off the paved roads and traveling for a while on dirt roads, we roll up to some of the most beautiful terrain I've ever seen in my life at a place called Bull Run Ranch. I was worried the weather wasn't going to work out in our favor as they were predicting a lot of rain, but man oh man did we get lucky. Well, we got lucky for a little bit, but more on that later. We rolled up and were welcomed with a slew of new Pioneers, with some of them outfitted a little differently when it comes to accessories, and then they had a camo unit that was really decked out with some goodies from Honda. After a quick driver's meeting, it was time to pick out our units, and it's funny how the world works sometimes. I ended up sharing a unit with someone that I sold a Pioneer to many years ago when I was a dealer, and that's Richard from HondaSideBySide.com and his partner Tram. If you're looking for a Honda side-by-side owner's forum, they're the best around. But back on topic, now it's time to get the camera strapped on so we can experience what the new Pioneer 1006 crew is all about. I started us off on the drive, and as much as I prefer being the driver in pretty much every situation, I really didn't mind being a passenger here because it gives you the opportunity to soak in just how beautiful the landscape is out here. As we carved our way through plenty of open terrain on this cattle ranch, we also had plenty of tight spots too where you can see, despite her larger than normal turning radius when compared to the other Pioneer models in the lineup, it's not that bad, and we only had to do one 3-point turn throughout the entire day. We had a few pit stops here and there to fix some punctured tires and for us to swap out seating positions so we could experience what it was like from the front bench seat to the rear, and I've got to say, the best seat in the house is without a doubt the middle seat in the back. You've got the most amount of legroom, and being perched up a little bit makes it that much better, and as you can see here, you've still got an awesome view. I spent a little time up front as a passenger as well to try and get some cool shots for you guys, and for a split second, completely forgot about the rules.
Keep your hands and feet inside the vehicle at all times.
Sorry again about that, Colin. Then as we started to head back to the starting point, our luck started to run out on the weather as the rain clouds started to roll in with some pretty strong winds too. We make it back to the house, and out back they're grilling up some burgers, obviously, like we'd have anything else when visiting a cattle farm. If burgers weren't your thing, they had some of the best looking cookies I've seen in a while, but enough about food before I make myself even hungrier. The next item on the menu was fly fishing, so we loaded up in the Pioneers and made a short little trip down the road to our launching spot. Now, I haven't touched a fishing pole since I was a kid when my great-grandfather used to take me, but that's been more than 30 years ago, so I was a little nervous, but my guide was the best. I'm horrible with names, but he's been fishing here on the Missouri River for longer than I've been alive and couldn't have been more friendly.
You're doing better than 90% of the people I take out on first cast.
You're probably saying that just to be nice. I appreciate it though. It was raining, I was cold, but I wasn't about to let that ruin a once-in-a-lifetime experience for me, so I gave it my best effort. Sadly, no fish were caught, but hey, I had a blast trying. After fly fishing, our activities at the ranch were cut a little short by the weather, so we headed back to the hotel, and then Honda fed everyone at a local restaurant in downtown Great Falls. Fast forward to the next day, and it was time to get up and hop on a plane at 6 a.m. to head back towards the East Coast. Now I've got well over 150 gigs of video to sort through as I work on my drive review video, where we dive into what I think is some of the changes that are exclusive to the Pioneer crew after getting to put some time in on this machine in the real world instead of just playing with it in a parking lot. So keep an eye out for that video shortly. And now I've got to give a massive thank you to all of you guys for helping make this happen. If it wasn't for your support along the way, I wouldn't get invited to something like this, something that's a once-in-a-lifetime trip for me, and saying thank you doesn't begin to describe how appreciative I am for opportunities like this. Big thanks to American Honda and Jana Media as well for giving me the opportunity, despite being a small fish in the media world. You guys really know how to put on an event, and I can't say thank you enough to those that offer to go above and beyond to help with some of my special circumstances. Also, I'm horrible with names and you're probably not going to see this, but thanks again for the hookup, man. I really appreciate it. But before I ramble on even more, big thanks to everyone that helped make this happen and for helping to make someone that's a bit on the shy side feel even more comfortable this time around. And on that note, thanks for watching and supporting all of this. I really appreciate it, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.